That's how people got into anime and cosplay and a lot of sci-fi stuff back in the day. Like even though the internet was there,
Mm.
it's like you didn't know what to search for because you didn't really know it, right? So
No, I had no idea.
exactly, like if it wasn't on YTV, if it wasn't on Teletoon, you would never find out about any of these things. Nowadays,
Right.
you have access to everything. Kids are into every single anime that comes out, every single show on Netflix that comes out. People are watching because it's trendy, regardless of if they like the genre or not.
Jealous. So jealous. You had to hear about it from some sweaty nerd in your garage in what was it? I think it was 2003. I think it was 2003. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I went in 2004.
Mm.
Yeah, for the first time. Just like, what is this place?
So you kind of jumped into the deep end pretty quickly then.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. I would say so. We went for one day, I guess. And my parents went with me, my sister, everybody just like piled into the car. My best friend at the time, and I had a anime CD with some songs on it. I remember the Initial D song, Back on the Rocks was on there. And I was just very excited. And yeah, it's like you turn that corner and you see all of these weirdos, I guess, on the bridge. And you're like, oh my goodness, they're just like me, these weirdos, and they're dressed up, and I'm not dressed up. So I need to do that next time for sure. Yeah, we only stayed for one day that time, but the next year that we went, we stayed for a full weekend and we cosplayed, and it was awesome. Yeah.
Wow, a whole family affair. That's great.
Yeah, and my dad even cosplayed a couple of years after that as Zaraki Kenpachi from Bleach.
Really?
If you know who that is.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was an
He's
edgy
very
teenager.
he's very tall. He's 6'4" and he's huge. So yeah, he was like, "Who can I be?" And I'm like, "You can be that one." And then my sister also cosplayed. She doesn't really like anime that much, but she wanted to get in on it. And my mom held the bags. So
Nice. That's what moms are for.
yep,
Hold our cosplay, mom.
please.
We're gonna geek out.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Also, I forgot that year we drove, like I said, all the way from Barrie, and as soon as we got there, we're like, okay, where are the costumes? Where are the costumes?
Oh,
Where are the costumes?
whose job was it to pack them up?
My mom, she went all the way back to Barrie to get them so that we could cosplay the next day. She's the best mom in the history of the moms. That's all I can say about that.
She actually is because my mom would not have done that at all. I can't even imagine what she would have done, but it would have been like the complete polar opposite of that. Your mom's great.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
I was so crushed because my friends didn't forget theirs, of course, and I never forgot a single thing after that day. No, that's wrong. No.
So, do you think that your parents being involved with you discovering anime and then going to conventions, do you think that really influenced you later on in life?
Wow. Yes, because if they didn't do that, I wouldn't have been able to go. Pretty much, they always were very encouraging of whatever us as kids wanted to do. They're like, you're going to be amazing at it. Just go for it. Go do it. Uh, and yeah, it's a good philosophy, I guess. Just like encouragement and going with us because my brother is 7 years older than me. He was a hockey kid, so he played rep. He did all of that everywhere, and he also did soccer. So he was a very gifted athlete, and they used to travel all the time for my brother. So when I was growing up, doing like sports or anything like that, it was more like, oh yeah, she's doing whatever. But it was like you have to support your kids, or that's what they did. They supported us in whatever we wanted to do. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to go to this funky dress up convention for a weekend. And they were already used to like the hotel lifestyle with my brother. at that point because they were going to Ajax, they were going to Pickering, they were going to Markham, all of these places, and staying overnight with the team, right? So it was just like an easy segue, I guess, for them to be like, okay, we're going to make sure that it's safe. We're going to obviously go with you and be like parental guardians this whole time while you're still too young. So that happened for, I think, 3 years. And then they just let us go because I was older after that. But they were also very angry one time because I think I was in Anime After Dark or something like that, or Anime Hell, or one of those things. And I had this like clunky old cell phone. And then I got this call like, where are you? You said you'd be back. And I'm like, no, I didn't. It's only 11 o'clock. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah, one time they're upset for that reason.
But aside from that time, that's really cool. I can't say my parents were super encouraging and like wanting to participate with me when it came to stuff like that. They weren't against me doing it, but it's really cool to hear about people who grew up that were able to cosplay with their family, even if it was just kind of like them just being there at the event to watch over and hold stuff. Yep. Like your dad being Kenpachi is so cool.
Yeah, I still have pictures of it too.
Bells and everything.
He had bells. Yeah, the wig is not what you would think of right now because obviously back then wigs. Some people didn't even wear wigs, right? But it was the best we could do as teenagers. And yes, he had the bells, and he looked very upset the whole time, just like Kenpachi. And it was in character. He was having a blast, and he still loves telling the story as well to like anybody who works with. He's like, yeah, I've been there. Duh. I went with my kid. What do you want?
It's great that like even events like that within the city are now things that people want to do if they're in for the weekend, or they'll come up to Toronto for that. It wasn't always the case. We didn't used to have conventions that would bring people from all over. It's so amazing to see how far Anime North has come, and like now we have Toronto Comic Con, all of these other events. I'm really happy to see cosplay just grow over time.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do at cons, I guess, is to look at people and what they're wearing and just be like, yeah, holy shit, this is awesome. And actually like telling people they're awesome is actually very rewarding as well, because like you see someone wearing something that you're really interested in and you're like, this is amazing, and then their face lights up and then your face lights up back at them, and it's just like this infinite loop of just like and I love participating in that. So